Half-Life is one of the most beloved series in all of gaming, but since Valve won't make Half-Life 3, it's up to modders to fill that void. Here are the top 5 free Half-Life mods on Steam you don't know about. Entropy Zero has you play as the bad guy, stepping into the boots of a stranded Metro Cop left for dead in the abandoned City 10. You're armed with weapons that a Metro Cop would carry and kill civilians, since you are the bad guy after all.
Jesus Christ.
At first, your goal is just to escape the city, but you uncover a more sinister plot that raises the stakes. The combat and level design are very creative and make good use of the Metro Cop's unique arsenal. There's these flying guys that you can throw out to fight for you, which work well to distract enemies, and they're also used to solve puzzles. You also have night vision that you'll often use, as there can be tense combat in the dark. The game likes taking it away in certain scenarios like this one, having you traverse through a dark industrial zone only guided by the cyborg's light, where you have to keep him from being killed by enemies and rely on his light to see. There's a good amount of zone types that feel distinct, not only because of their look, but because of the unique enemies you'll fight there. If you're looking for a Half-Life 2 mod where you play as an enemy Metro Cop, then I recommend Entropy Zero. Half-Life 2 Downfall has you play as Gordon Freeman on a mission to recover newly developed technology created by the Resistance before the Combine destroys it. You drive to a few different locations and fight enemies there as you explore areas looking for ways to progress. You start off with just the gravity gun, which makes for some tense combat as you frantically search around for objects to throw while enemies rush at you. The pacing is excellent, always throwing in new events to spice up combat encounters. There's not really any puzzles, as the level design is focused on making you feel smart in combat because of objects you can make use of in the environment. If you're looking for a mod centered around inventive combat encounters, then I recommend Half-Life 2 Downfall. Half-Life 2 Year-Long Alarm is set in an abandoned mine outside City 17, and you have to fight through the Combine to meet up with Resistance fighters. You start off with the gravity gun, which is always fun to use. You have to explore the abandoned mines for a way to activate elevators. Eventually you make it out of the mines and fight through more open areas, which is a nice change of pace. It's fairly short but well crafted, as the level design has some well thought out puzzles that make use of your grenades. The combat is the perfect difficulty, as you have to position yourself properly, especially in tighter areas. If you're looking for a short Half-Life 2 mod with excellent level design, then I recommend Half-Life 2 Year-Long Alarm. Amalgam is a mod where you play as Gordon Freeman as you help the rebels sabotage Combine communication towers. The mod is very much centered around combat, as every combat scenario feels different. It makes good use of its level design, as there are chaotic close quarters fights indoors, as well as more open areas that reward accuracy. You gain new weapons as you progress, and there are key fights related to the plot that feel conclusive to each chapter. Every environment has its own tone that pairs well with its aesthetic, like the large open area has you dodging a sniper, while the dark environments feel cramped and are full of aliens. The game is paced well and brings fresh combat ideas to the table, apart from some annoying elevator button puzzles towards the end. If you're looking for a Half-Life mod centered around fresh combat ideas, then I recommend Amalgam. Resistance Element is a mod where you play as a resistance fighter with the goal of destroying the Combine. The game has you go through a linear series of areas where you fight through various enemies along with some light puzzle solving. It's fairly straightforward but paced exceptionally well. You start out with just a pistol and gradually find more weapons throughout the campaign, making you stronger against the increasing amount of enemies. The scale and difficulty is perfect as you figure out the best ways to kill enemies, although dying can send you back a bit far. There's a few one-off situations that ensure you're always dealing with something new, like driving a car between hostile areas or killing a giant flying alien with a rocket launcher, for example. If you're looking for a polished linear Half-Life mod, then I recommend Resistance Element. One bonus mod!
Fuck you.
Half-Life Caged is a prison escape adventure where you break out and battle your way to freedom. All of the enemies are humans that are preventing you from escaping the prison. You do some fairly simple puzzles that break up the combat and find new weapons as you go. Combat sections have you navigate around the prison to activate different control points that open up new areas. Be sure to look out for health packs, as the game is very stingy with them, leaving you in a few tough situations if you don't have enough health. The combat isn't mindless, as you have to be careful with your positioning and make use of cover to expose yourself as little as possible. If only my parole officer told me that. If you're looking for a challenging prison escape Half-Life 1 mod, then I recommend Half-Life Caged. Those were the top 5 free Half-Life mods on Steam you didn't know about. I'll have my playlist of free Steam games you don't know about linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with this ongoing series.